Okay. LeBron James and the Cavs versus the winningest regular season team of all time, Warriors, and the most valuable player, Stephen Curry, in the NBA Finals. Last year was one of the most memorable seasons of all time. But what about this upcoming NBA season? Today I want to preview for you the 5 most intriguing storylines heading up to the 2016-17 NBA season. I hope you're interested in learning about the NBA season from a huge NBA fan who follows all the teams and players very closely. In case you show any interest in following the NBA, or just happen to see a game flipping through channels, this will refresh your knowledge and give you a foundation of current NBA knowledge. These headlines include Kevin Durant's arrival in Golden State, Russell Westbrook re-signing in Oklahoma City, the Los Angeles Lakers without Kobe Bryant, and the New York Knicks' vast improvement, and the Chicago Bulls' revamped roster. Kevin Durant, pictured here, may be the best scorer in basketball history. According to Jeff Ross at thesportster.com, Durant is 6'10" with a 7'5" wingspan, and can shoot the ball with the best of them. This blend of height and shooting creates a score that can score points as easily as one might in a video game. He has also had some highlight dunks that have amazed fans for years. This scoring machine has played in Oklahoma City over the last 7 seasons, but now he moves to Golden State and helps create the best roster in the NBA, along with MVP Stephen Curry. So this is their starting lineup with Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Andre Iguodala. In response to NBA players taking less money and moving from a bad team to a good team for a chance to win a championship, Durant tweeted, or this was 6 years ago, Durant tweeted, "Now everybody want to play for the Heat and the Lakers? Let's go back to being competitive and going at these peoples." Now Durant has made the same move that he criticized a few years ago, and it's amazing how when an opportunity of winning a championship presents itself, how many NBA players jump for it. No matter the lineup, this Golden State team will be extremely exciting to watch with Kevin Durant as a go-to scorer. Russell Westbrook, Durant's old teammate, is a dynamic point guard who rises above the rim and has a 36.5-inch vertical leap, according to Joe Lucas at theworldofhoops.com. Russell Westbrook signed a 3-year deal with Oklahoma City Thunder last offseason, and this is a big deal for a number of reasons. This decision to re-sign shows his dedication and loyalty to the organization, and with Kevin Durant leaving to go to a powerhouse team, Westbrook could have easily done the same. But instead, he decides to stay and be the face of the franchise on Oklahoma City, and this is the true mark of a superstar. Westbrook is poised for a historic season, and his statistics without Durant are mind-blowing. According to Sean Meager at the Oregon Live, Westbrook is favored to win the MVP, with 2-to-1 odds in Las Vegas. Our hometown team, the Lakers, are a historic franchise with 16 NBA titles. Kobe Bryant leaves the Lakers after an illustrious 20-year career with the team. He leaves behind the worst team in Lakers history. The Lakers have been building a young core group of players for the last 3 years. Brandon Ingram, D'Angelo Russell, and Larry Nance, Jordan Clarkson, and Julius Randle, pictured here. Those are the young core group they've been building for the last 3 years. The Lakers also bring a couple of veterans on huge deals. Timofey Mozgov signed a 4-year, $64 million deal, according to Joshua Cornelison of FoxSports.com. He was brought to provide a big presence with his height and his size. Some found this acquisition a little expensive because of his age at 30 years old, and it was also criticized because he spent most of last year on Cleveland's bench. In addition, veteran Luol Deng, pictured on the right, was acquired by the Lakers. According to Fox Sports, he signed a $72 million deal for 4 years and has more recent track record of success than Mozgov. But again, this signing was costly given his mediocre play. And together, this is over $100 million that the Lakers spent this offseason getting 2 mediocre players. We will see if these young and veteran signings can bring back such a strong franchise. Another big market team is really trying to bring back their winning ways. The New York Knicks have made changes and show vast improvement heading into the 2016-17 NBA season. the Knicks acquired former MVP Derrick Rose, pictured here, number 25, former Rookie of the Year Brandon Jennings, number 55, defensive anchor Joakim Noah, pictured up here, and shooter Courtney Lee, pictured here, number 1. These big acquisitions really show that New York that free agents really want to come to New York, and that hasn't shown in the past couple of years. Kristaps Porzingis, a New York big man, continues to be one of the most exciting players in the league and has received second place in last year's Rookie of the Year voting. It's number 6 right here. He has come a long way from being a pick that New York fans dreaded to being their real centerpiece. According to The Guardian, the youngster who fans booed at the draft has put up seriously impressive numbers and is bringing joy to a franchise that's been short of it for years. Carmelo Anthony, number 7 here, is the leader of the Knicks, and they can really go only as far as he can take them. His notable accomplishment this year, he led the Olympic team to the gold medal. On to another historic franchise. The Chicago Bulls lost 3 out of their 5 starters, including Derrick Rose in 2016, and looked as though they were falling apart. Yet they recovered and revamped their roster, picking up some key players. The Bulls' acquisitions include Dwayne Wade, number 3 here, one of the best shooting guards of all time. Rajon Rondo, pictured here with the ball. He is probably the best passer in the NBA. And Robin Lopez, a huge 7-footer. I bet you can tell who that is from the picture. Dwayne Wade will be playing with a team other than the Heat for the first time in his career. He has been the face of the Heat and has brought them 2 NBA championship titles. Without Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, pictured here 21, emerges as the best player on the Bulls. According to Fox Sports' Richard Staple, it has become abundantly clear that Jimmy Butler or Derrick Rose had to leave the Bulls, as they had visible frustrations playing with each other and sharing the glory. Due to Jimmy Butler's play over the last couple of years, he's emerged as an NBA All-Star and the face of the franchise in Chicago. These storylines highlight an intriguing NBA season. The Golden State Warriors, Oklahoma City Thunder, Los Angeles Lakers, New York Knicks, and Chicago Bulls have made some dramatic changes for the upcoming 2016-17 NBA season. Although we don't know exactly what NBA fans are going to get this season, we expect exciting play and great basketball.
So, Angel, what is your opinion? What did you think?
His introduction was thorough. It was really well. The thing I like most about it, he projected his voice really, really well. Like the whole speech, it was constant. I could hear it from over here. There's a lot of detail. I don't really watch basketball too much, so my knowledge isn't to extent on the topic, but he explained everything really well, so I got what he was saying. But the thing that he could have worked on is maybe bring another prop instead of just the slides, and just like showing us some plays. That probably would have been interesting too. And all in all, I think he did a really good job just explaining everything.
Okay. Well, I'm going to agree with you. I thought you did a very good job on most everything. The attention device has a nice dramatic reference to the last NBA season. You transition very effectively to what your purpose statement's going to be. You do a little attempt to create a justification for interest in listening to that. What you had was very good. That was one of the places I thought maybe you could do a little bit more, because not everybody's a basketball fan, but you did make a couple of references to, if you happen to be crossing by and see something, you might want to know what's going on. And I appreciated, you're making that extra effort. You had a very good preview of what the contents of the speech were. I heard references, consistently throughout the presentation. You had interesting quotes, so it wasn't just a piece of factual data that you're providing. It's not just the stats that somebody's giving, but you had experts who were talking about these players and what they bring, the dynamics, their personalities, the skill sets that they have, and I thought that those one of the advantages of quoting professional writers is that those people know how to write a good sentence and make it interesting, and I thought you took advantage of that by putting those into your speech on a regular basis. So I thought it sounded pretty dynamic. You know, I have not been a regular basketball fan for maybe 15 years, 20 years. I lost interest somewhere along the line. You know, I was a big fan back in the 70s and 80s, and and then somewhere down the road it all went away. So I don't know most of these players. I mean, I've heard names, but I haven't seen them. I couldn't have identified them. And I thought you did a nice job on the visuals, for instance, trying to identify people. Sometimes, you know, we're getting every guy's name on the team, you know, but you usually explain something about why they are important to the team, and I thought that was good. But especially for the people that were key players that were moving from one team to another, or had stepped up and now they're going to be in a bigger leadership position, or you see them as being, you know, the next MVP. I thought you did a very good job kind of finding the stories for each of those teams and making it very interesting to listen to, even for somebody who is kind of not even a passive observer of basketball. You know, I can't even describe myself that way anymore. The visuals, you know, I'm going to kind of agree. I think maybe a couple of short video clips. I think you could show like some of those amazing dunks that you talked about that are now already legendary, or you know, some fantastic defensive play that you know, was a signature move that somebody did. You know, just a little bit more to energize it a bit. But what you had was very effective. It worked very well. So when I say that you could do that, that's ways to improve it. It's not that there was something wrong with what you did. It would be ways to add to the presentation. The only thing about the presentation that I think needed a little bit more work, you're very script dependent. You have to do a lot of reading. Now, I thought you did a good job reading. I mean, if I'm just listening to you, you know, if I'm looking down and not looking at you, it sounds pretty solid. But when I look up, it's always, you know, your head's down, your eyes are on the cards, and, you know, you're not engaging with the audience as much. And that's one of those things where practice would help a little bit, so that you just need the cards to remind yourself of a piece of information. I know there are a lot of quotes there, but whenever there isn't a quote, you ought to be talking to us, and frequently there are times when there isn't a quote and you're not talking to us, you're looking at the notes, and that's what you got to get out of the habit of doing. All right, thank you.